So you have brought up producing Brave in the Heart. That was for the Terror Squad album, the first one, right? And it was Pun, Seis, Joe, and Prospect that was on that one.
Yeah, no, that was that. No, so no, for the Terror Squad album, I did War for
Oh,
Seis.
was Brave in the Heart not off the
Brave in the
first Terror
Heart
Squad album?
was
What was that one off of?
no, that was the Endangered Species album.
Right, that's right. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, that's the Endangered Species.
so then what was that studio session like?
Which which one? The Terror Squad one, the War,
For
or
Brave in
the
the Heart.
Brave in the Heart? Okay, so Brave in the Heart.
Sorry, I wrote Terror Squad.
Okay, so
but I meant the group. Yeah, right. Because yeah,
right. So yeah, so I mean, Terror Squad ended up being right. It was Pun's song to begin with, right? So now we're going back to before Pun blew up. I recorded that verse with him.
Oh, so that song's old.
Yeah, that song is older. Yeah, this is before he blew. He recorded that in Queens at a studio called Hydra. We had Hydra Records, which put out Screwball. You know, they did records with a lot of people from Queensbridge. Everybody from Queensbridge, whether it be Mobb Deep, what's his name? Whether it was Capone, anybody, you know, Nature, anyone you can name from Queensbridge, right? Mega, right? So
yeah, I think in my interview with Les, he brought up Hydra, and he
oh,
said
yeah,
that
yeah.
like that was the spot where a lot of people would come.
Yeah, everybody would go there. Yes, that was the first. You see the lo-fi that you hear nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first lo-fi label.
Wow.
The first lo-fi records. Yeah, the first lo-fi record label. You know, everybody. You know, they had recordings from me, Juju, Les, Godfather Don. Yeah. So that was actually the first one, to be honest. What they're doing now, those '90s sounding beats.
So what do you remember about that session?
But okay, so Pun came in. He came to, it was in Long Island City. He came, recorded the vocals there. The beat came about because I gave Seis a cassette, and they were doing something with BET, I believe. So when they were on their way out there to do the BET, I guess it was 106 Park, whatever. So while they were going out there to do the show, he said Pun played that beat from when they left, well, from when he first, because they were playing the beats, and from once that beat hit, he said he played it all the whole trip. Rewind it, rewind it, rewind it. So he wrote to it right there and then. And he says that Pun just kept on rapping to it. And he said that's it. Once that beat came on, he didn't want to hear anything else.
Wow.
We rewound that thing a gazillion times. So I was like, okay. So he says he wants to record it. So that's when him and Seis came, and we recorded it. We started it there. It wasn't supposed to be on Pun's album, right? So I mean, it was supposed to be on Hydra. You know, then the guy from Hydra wants a clearance on paper. I told, you know, I asked Matty, the A&R. He said, "Don't worry about it. Just do it. Just make sure it doesn't come out with his single. So if you want, just wait on it, and you can, you know, put it out later, or you can do it now. But just make sure it doesn't come out at the same time. That's all. So I don't want to confuse anybody, right? But it's a street song, right? So I don't think there was going to be any conflict. If anything, it could have just helped. But anyhow, didn't that wasn't the point. And I said, hey, listen, the A&R's telling me, and the lawyer saying, don't worry, go, just do it. I said, oh, he wants paperwork. No, man, we don't need no paperwork. Don't worry, nobody's coming after anybody, man. It's going to be a 12-inch independent thing. No one's coming after him. And you know, and so it was just shelved. Joe calls me, hey, what's up? Your boy just called me. Pun needed that money, but now Pun doesn't need it. Tell your boy not to put it out. I was like, all right. So, he says, why is he calling me on a Sunday?
Why would he do that? That makes
Yeah, because the guy wanted the thing, and so he wasn't giving Pun the money, and Pun needed there was a couple of grand, and so Pun didn't give him, he didn't get the check to him, so I guess the frustration settled in, and Joe called me on a Sunday and said, listen, your boy just calling me on a Sunday. He goes, first of all, he called me on a Sunday. Why is he doing that? And let him know that Pun does not need um does not need the money anymore. Forget about it. Don't use it. Tell him not to use it. So, it was shelved, and
But wait, before you continue though, that's just so weird because the work's already done. So why would you just shelve it though?
yeah, I mean, it wasn't totally. I mean, it was just him and Sace at the time. But I don't know. You know how it is. It's the
Politics stuff.
pride thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the politics. You know, and hold on, let me shut this phone off. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a pride thing, man. The politics. That's the one thing. I could do without. Everything becomes petty,
Right.
right? Um, but anyway, so it's shelved, and then years later, when Pun passes, Joe calls me. He says, "Do you still have that song that you did with Pun?" I'm like, "Yeah, I still have it." I said, "I can get it." Sitting in that studio, sitting up in Hydra. So he says, "Yeah, can we use it? I want to use it." So I had Theo was the lawyer, right, at the time, and so I tell him, hey, what should I charge for this? Or, I want to try and get Sace paid as well. Because he's calling me, say, hey, see if you can get me paid. And, so, um, Theo went back and forth, I guess, with their lawyer. And he's like, listen, get your money. It's you're doing the honorable thing, but it's not your responsibility to get anyone else paid. That's your song. That's your music. You can get whatever you want. So I gave Joe a price, which in Theo's eyes, it was, he says, you're giving him a break. I said, oh, I thought it was sufficient, and next thing you know, when I tell Joe the price, he wants it for free. He's like, oh man, come on. This person, he named big producer. I don't know if it was Premier and a couple other guys. This person's doing it for free, that person. I was like, yeah, those producers can give you, you know what I'm saying? They can afford to give it to you for free. Like, come on, you know. But that's the whole game. The whole politic game. You know, this person says I don't have this. Next thing you know, your lawyer's saying, "Well, I know firsthand that they have that." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah. So um. Anyways, we ended up settling, and we went in, did the session, and that's when you know Prospect got on, Joe got on. It was originally supposed to be Remy.
Hmm.
I wasn't at the studio but one of the A&Rs told me, "Hey, listen, we're not going to do the Remy thing." I said, "Oh no," I said. He goes, "Nah, she started bugging out. She was like, "Oh, this beat is," in her rhyme. She's saying, "Oh, this beat is whack, but I'm doing it for my nigga pun." Blah 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 blah. And they were like, "Whoa, whoa, wait a minute, you can't do that." That even I heard Joe stopped her and said, "No, no, no, you can't do this."
Why would you
You
even do
know,
that? That's just so weird. What the hell?
bro, she she's done that. I don't know if Les in his interview told
Wait,
you
wait, wait, okay, wait. Can we
anything
save
about
that for
her.
after we finish this part of this story?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, 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 no problem,
yeah.
no problem.
Okay.
So yeah, so no, and it was funny because so she was originally supposed to be on the song, and then funny thing is, I was at some party and I saw Pun's wife, Liza, um, and actually they were with Remy Ma and with Angie Martinez and I think Joe's wife at the time, and they came up to me like, "Oh, hey, hey, I'm so sorry, about what happened with her." I said, "No, no problem. That's her opinion. She's allowed to have her opinion." And the funny thing was, she's standing there, but I'm like, I'm not making the connection that was Remy Ma, and I was like, "Oh shit, wait a minute, that's her," you know. So, but and that's why they were talking so low and they're kind of in my ear, they're like, "Hey, I'm sorry for what happened," you know. I was like, "No, it's not an issue, man.
Hmm.
Everybody has a right." She didn't like it. She didn't like it. Although it was odd
Right, right.
for her to put it in a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? That was the dumb part. Like, okay. Anyway, but yeah,
So then you said that Joe and Prospect got on it, but you saw Prospect helping Joe with the rhymes for this specific song?
yes, yeah, and yeah. So that they laid down their parts. Yeah. So it was Seis, Prospect, Joe, right, and then Punt. Right. Um,
Do you know if he wrote the whole thing or he just wrote like some of them?
hmm, I don't know. I mean, when you're looking at it from afar and you see the writing and the talking back and forth, I don't know. What does that tell you? He could be writing it and could just be getting confirmation like, "Hey, you like this part?" Or you can say this part like this. Or he could be telling him, "Hey, I want to put this or that." I don't know. You could be working together, but you already know who's orchestrating it just by
Right.
the body language. So, it was definitely uh, Prospect was taking
Hmm.
the lead on it. But, it could have been, the co-writing. I don't know. Again, I'm watching them from afar, but it looks like Prospect is kind of, "Hey, let's do it like this," and then Joe I guess cleaning it up. And to me, I guess in hip hop, right, it's a little different, right? You don't, if you're not writing all your rhymes, although I think in any kind of art, especially when you're working together, it's always a team effort, or it should be, or it's not always, it's not always one individual because sometimes you can even write your rhymes, but it's like, "Hey, why don't you say it like this
Right, but the
or
way that
say
you're
this like
talking
that?"
about is kind of like how the producer's job is like, hey, don't, the
Right,
little adjustments and everything, right? But like when somebody writes
right.
an entire verse or the majority or something, I think it's more how the artist carries himself. If you're carrying yourself like I'm an artist versus I'm an MC, because when you're an MC, it's like no, like you're really about the lyrics. You know what I mean? Like it's like a little different level of pride. I feel like that comes with that.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yes, no, it is, and it is, and because of the genre of music, it is, yeah, it's kind of a thing where you should probably be holding your own. I mean, nowadays it's like whatever, but um, and everybody's always had their little secret ghostwriters, right?
Right.
But yeah, but again, again, I don't know what lines Joe actually did on it, but when you see the pen in someone's hand and paper, you already know who has the reins.